I'm back. Hi, welcome to a brand new episode of Happy Hour with Maxtheknitter. I took a long break from YouTube, trying to figure out work balance, work and life balance. It's taken me a while to figure it out. Vincent will be joining me in the podcast. He might pop in from time to time because I'm trying to do shorter videos and more often. We'll see if I stick with that, but this is my goal. Vincent hasn't knit for a while, but he's mostly spending his crafting time weaving, which is his brand new obsession. We got a big loom, and he might have ordered an even bigger one to make like larger things. He made scarf, he made a tea towel, so you might pop in from time to time to like update us on what he has made using hand spun. He used linen, he used cotton, and even some of his hand dyed yarn. So he's gonna pop in from time to time to talk about it, but since it's more about knitting, I'll be the one keeping up the channel. Speaking of work balance and life balance, I've actually came back from a nice vacation. I took 2 weeks off, which is a lot for me because usually we're spending no more than a week off because of the business, the dog, and everything. So 2 week was quite nice. We spent 1 week in a cabin in the wood with friends, and the other week I went for a road trip to the States with my friend Tanya. I went for a run like early summer, and while running, I'm like, never taken any vacation with Tanya. Maybe we could do something like a road trip would be nice. And speaking of road trip, like I don't drive, which means the other one that I'm going with will have to drive the whole way. So they have to enjoy driving and don't mind if I'm there just like as entertainment, not really helping with the driving or anything. So she said yes, and we just like try to figure out where we would like to go. New York is always like, if you're living in Montreal, you always think about going to New York because it's only a 6 hour drive. And then while we were looking in the map, we realized that Washington, D.C. isn't that far if we go for a whole week. So we decided to divide the road in different stops. Our first stop was in Albany, where we just like spent the night because we arrived late in the States. Then we went to Brooklyn. Well, just before that, we went to Mount Cisco. I'll talk more about it later. We went to Brooklyn, then Philadelphia, and then we spent 4 days in Washington. And then going back, we went to New Haven, and then went back to Montreal. So it was a whole week. It was quite nice. And our first days were like only 2 or 3 hours of road between each cities, which was like quite fun. And then it was like 2 big days of 6 hours road. So it was quite a longer road. Sorry. Our goal for the trip was actually Tanya is a knitter also. We started knitting at the same time, learning and everything. And we wanted to do like our own yarn crawl and just stop at different yarn shop that we've seen online or that people would have recommended for us to stop. And this was our main goal, visiting at the same time the city, but then just like shopping for yarn. How amazing is that? I made a post on Instagram asking people which yarn shop should we stop by or what food should we eat at every place. And a lot of suggestions were made, and we took some of them and actually stuck to them. Our first stop was Pick Up Every Stitch in Mount Cisco, Crisco, Cisco. It's just before going to Brooklyn. This is where we stopped first. It was quite a nice shop, and the owners were there, super lovely. And while we were there, which was quite spontaneous, which is the best way to meet people, we made plan to meet Kevin and Ray while we were going to be in New Haven. They're the co-host of Needle at the Ready podcast. So we knew we were going to see them each other. We were going to see them at the end of the week. But they didn't know we were stopping at Pick Up Every Stitch. We decided this in the morning while we were leaving. And them and the girl from the Knitting Posse, the other podcast, we've all showed up pretty much at the same time. All unexpected, which was so cool of like getting to meet friends that you've seen online or that you've chatted with to finally meet them, and all at the same time with the owner of the shop being there. It just felt like the vacation has kicked in on a high note. Like it was so cool to see everyone. And while we were there, we all shop like we were all enabling each other of buying pretty a lot of things, and there was a lot of Quebec dye at Pick Up Every Stitch, which was quite nice. We've some things from Julie Asselin, Emilia Philomène, a fellow friend from Quebec, which was quite nice. And there I picked up this. This is a needle case by Pleister. I've knew them for their bags, and this is, I think it was designed to put the your needle that aren't interchangeable because of the little pockets here. But for me, I decided to put all my cords in there and just like dump all my needles in it. Only because before, the thing that I had to store my needle, it was quite nice and everything was like stored perfectly in it. But each time I was taking it, some things were like falling off. But now that I'm always swatching, my needles are always messy. So I don't mind just like dumping it into something. And this, it doesn't feel like they will actually fall out. I think so. We'll see with time. But I felt it was quite nice, so I really liked it. Another yarn purchases that I made was at the Brooklyn General Store. Really gorgeous yarn store. I could live there. The way it was designed, it was quite nice. And you're gonna see there's gonna be a lot of love for Brooklyn Tweed in this episode. I got their new color. This like royal blue with their new branding, which is quite pretty. The color is Cadet. This is on their shelter base, which means it's the worsted weight one. I only got one because I'm loving this color so much and shelter that I really want to make a design out of it. So this is going to be for me for swatching to see exactly how much I would need. It's not going to be a design I'm going to be working like in the following weeks, but I want to have it next to my where I'm knitting in my office so that I could actually find something to do with it. And at the same place, I also got this one. This is an exclusive color for Brooklyn General Store. The name is Lyra. I got it for two reasons. One, it's pretty. Two, it's named Lyra. And for me, I decided that this was inspired by his dark material, the Golden Compass. I don't know if it's the reason behind it or the inspiration, but this is how I saw it. And this is on a cashmere merino base. Gorgeous color. And this is 75% superwash merino, 15% cashmere, and 10% nylon. Such a pretty one. Then we also stopped at Looped, where they had another new color by Shelter, by Brooklyn Tweed on Shelter. It's this, I think it's emerald green. Such a pretty one. I got two skein because I thought about making like a 1x1 rib hat with it, or even maybe like a sweater because the color is quite nice. I really don't know which one I prefer most. This, I don't know, love them both. I got this. Also went to Fiberspace in Alexandria. This was like a 20 minutes Uber ride from Washington where we were staying. I got these two, dyed in the wool. The color is, I think it's Ghost Ranch. Yep, it's Ghost Ranch. What's cool about going to yarn shop is seeing all the walls of Spin Cycle and getting to actually pick the skein you prefer. It's quite nice. And then I got these two Nightshade in the color Cinder. And every Nightshade skein are mostly black with a hint of color. And I got all of these together because for me it felt like this could be a nice cowl. This is 250 grams, so it's a 100 gram, and these are 200 gram, 100 gram total. I think it would be like quite nice. I have no design in mind, but it would just, I wanted it. Then we went also to the nut house. I got this beautiful Olan. This is her male yarn. It's on the base is Myra, and the color it's AES, so I think it's Irish for something, but I just don't know how to pronounce it. Beautiful brown, like caramel brown. I'm sure I'm gonna use it. And the last yarn shop we went to was Magpie Fiber, which was such a surprise to see that it was this close. It was an hour drive from where we were staying in Washington, and I didn't know they were there. And the store was huge. I think it's an old bank that they're just not abandoned, but they left the building and then Magpie Fiber took it over. So which means that there's a store, and at the end of the store there's like a big vault, and in the vault there's some yarn. It just felt super precious. And in the vault they had their collaboration with Spin Cycle, which is dyed in the skein. It's a sport weight. It's 75 gram per skein. It's, if you've seen the new design, the new Rhinebeck sweater by Andrea Maury, it's the yarn that she's using, and oh boy, it's crunchy but still soft at the same time. I think it's gonna make like an amazing fabric. So I got plenty of them because I wanted to swatch for either a shawl or sweater or just something that I'm inspired by it. And I got a lot of yarn, but these are souvenir yarn at the same time. Instead of like bringing a magnet or something, I felt like bringing yarn was quite fun. So this color is Castaway. I also got this little pink, light pink. This one is a little bit bougie. I got this green, a bit more forest than olive. This one is Juniper Rising. I also got a charcoal Selkie. And a little brown Evil Beaver. Like, so good. I think it's gonna be like a colorwork sweater, a shawl. I don't know, I might not even use all the colors together, maybe this. I don't know, I just loved it, got it. The shop was amazing, people working there were really nice too. Really love how they were highlighting every dyers that were there with a little like postcard, and you get to meet the person behind it and the story on how they started to dye and things like that. They had the farmer's daughter was there, ritual dye. Shelly Can had a lot of stuff there, which was quite nice to be able to find and put my hands on it. I got some of her tags that you put on the back of the sweater to know that this is the back. There we go. So that was for the road trip. And then we went for a whole week in the cabin in the wood with friends. It was nice. We were by the water. It was a nice place. But the thing is, they had the biggest spider ever. And I'm not exaggerating. They are the biggest spider in Quebec. They're called Dolores, which are water spider. Like this big. By the water. Which meant that they're not gonna attack any human, but they were like big and disgusting, and it just felt like you couldn't really relax with the dogs being there and everything. You just didn't want to like wake up the spider and everything, and we were seeing some of them every freaking day. Like it felt like we were living in Australia for some, but I didn't like it at all, at all. I'm not a big spider fan. We've still enjoyed our stay, but it just felt a little bit, I don't know, thinking about spider every day is one vacation, not what I wanted to do, but still. So that's it for all my purchases. I've launched a new design that I'm actually wearing. This is the Goldstar sweater. I've knitted it, I started it last winter, I think, so by the time the pattern was written and then test knit and everything, so it's finally out. It's a top-down construction, only 3 colors are used, and it's actually, I'm using Brooklyn Tweed tones. These are the original colorway. Tones is actually a really cool concept where there's 2 original base, overtone and undertone. These are the 2 baseline. So that's the pale one and that's the gray one. Those are the 2 undyed ones. So this is the top and then here. And I'll give you. So look, so this is Goldfinch dyed on undertone and overtone. So you really get to see a difference between this one being more bright and colorful and this one being more on the gray side. And that's the three of them together. And I've designed a sweater thinking about how can I make a sweater inspired by tones, which would make it easier to do color mixing easy. So you could actually just do something quite easy by taking the same color on the two different bases and then pick a third color for the middle. So for example, this could be a nice choice. There's even be like this. Just a way to be able to play around with colors. And as an example, I love yellow, but I'm not sure I would be willing to wear a whole sweater in yellow. And this is a nice way of bringing the yellow into a sweater, being surrounded by two neutrals. So I feel like I'm really colorful, but I'm still wearing a lot of grays. I have other colors by them. There's like this nice blue that would be like really cool for the body too. There's this like reddish, it's called Melba. Yeah, that's all color. So you could really mix and match and do something really fun. I've seen one of their suggestions was to mint blue, top and bottom, and in the middle, like this yellow. So cool. So this is now out. I'm wearing size 4. I usually wear my sweater size 3. I decided to do size 4 to have like a 2 extra inch of positive ease, just because tones is a woolen yarn, so there's a lot of air that goes through it, so it's not that warm. Like we're right in the summer right now, and I'm still able to wear it the whole day and feel fine. So I really wanted to have like a lot of airiness to it, and since it's a colorwork sweater in worsted weight, it could tend to be a bit heavy, and this one isn't, and I just wanted like a lot of ease to it, which I'm again really happy. So this one is out right now. There's a coupon code to get 15% off until August 8th, so it's the following Monday. I'll link the pattern below so I don't forget about it. So I made this. What else did I make? Oh yeah. I've also, the second week of my vacation, I knitted 2 socks. Well, yeah, 1 pair of sock, but there's for 2 feet. This was a sock blank dyed by Kindred Red. And me and Vincent actually cranked a tube, so long tube, and then after that I cut to add the cuff, the heel, and then the toes. If there's a place where I go really colorful, it's with the socks, and this is pretty. I've also made 2 handspun skein. And I've made actually my most favorite one ever, which is this one. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see everything properly, but it's a little fade from pale mint, white, gray to a fluorescent fluorescent yellow. I've actually dyed the fade, and then I used a bat created by Artifacts of Appreciation and applied it together, which gave me like 185 grams, so 700 yards, so it's fingering. I think I'm gonna make a shawl out of it, like a brioche shawl with like Suri alpaca on the other side, and then this. I'm not sure. Again, so many knitting plans that I'm not sure if they're all gonna fall through, but still, it's what the intention that counts sometimes. And my most recent one is this one. It was from a monthly club from hedgehog fiber. It's 120 grams, heavy fingering, 400 meters, and I just applied it on itself. It's really, again, colorful. This one feels a bit like Goosebump, the novels we were reading as kids. Nice. Right now I'm working on a 3-ply yarn, a gray to brown, because grays has to be there at some point. I had made 2 colorful things, so I'm back to gray. I'm currently working on this one. It's going to be a 3-ply, 2 braids that I got from Created by LCB, and the third one I might make a little bat to go with it. I'm not sure. I'll have to figure out which one I'm going to make. My whole plans aren't completely made. What else? I finished a shawl that is actually drying just next to me. I'll show it next episode. Otherwise, what else? Oh, I can tease you a little something. I worked on a chart for a new sweater, and I can show you the colors I'm going to use. It's going to be on Les Garçons British DK, which is our 75 BFL wool and 25% Machine wool non-superwash base. These are the 2 colors I'm going to actually use. So the first one is Natural. The second one is Jason's Aqua. And the third one is Louis Shade. And it's going to be exactly like this. The color is going to be some of the starting color with this color, and the whole body after that is going to be this really dark and moody blue. We had this one for a while, and I knew I wanted to make a sweater out of it, and I just didn't know what project. And I made a little sketch, I made a chart, and I'm going to be able to cast on soon because my needles are empty, which is really a rare occasion. I can tease you in a little something again. We had our monthly club. That is just, we've shipped out the last month of the 3-month. The club was, as you can see well, Mysterious Manor. The first month people get to receive, every month people get to receive a sock set and an owl pin and a progress keeper. And the first month was actually him, the butler. This was the pin that went with it. Oops, trying with the light. Okay, there we go. So this was the first pin. And this first skein was this one. It's a take on Louis Shade, but it's a bit more moody. If you've seen Max Camo, there's some hint of black and paler blue to this one. With it, there's a little progress keeper, a little candelabra, because it's a butler, and a mini skein of Cheryl Cold Gray. I can show you month 2 now. The second month was the little mouse just here. It's the uninvited guest. That's the pen. And he's knitting. Here it is. So you get a little bow tie as a progress keeper. And this is a paler, it look a bit like Alex Snowfield. It's a pale blue with a little speckle of dark blue from the butler. There's some little speckle of orange and some peach that you might see in the next one. We'll see. And this is a new color that we made for this one. It's Vanilla's Ice Blue. Ice, baby. So there you go. And the third one is this one. These are little stickers that are on it. And it's been shipped, so I'm not going to open it right now because not everyone has received it. But next episode, we're going to be able to see it completely. And teaser-wise, our next club is going to be available in the shop around mid-August. Do subscribe to either our newsletter or follow us on Instagram. We're going to be announcing the dates for that. They tend to go quite quickly because we make a limited edition, just because they take a lot of work to do, and we want to make sure that we're still having fun doing it. And I can show you the little card. as a teaser because I haven't shown it to anyone else. So the next one is going to be called Mysterious Mountain. And here's the inspiration. So it's going to be moody, really colorful compared to the other one. There we go. That's it. Just a little teaser. And I know the colors that are in it, and let me tell you, it's going to be quite autumny, really, really fun. I think that's pretty much... Oh no, there's one more thing. I've just talked about the British DK. We just did a whole new shop update where we refilled our 4-ply, which is the fingering version of the British DK. Some of the colors that have been added to the shop, they all have a gray undertone, which makes it really like easy to color mix all the colors together. Like this one is Gerald's Eggplant. This one is Cardi Ochre. This is Abadar's Water. Mara's Black from Schitt's Creek. And Jill's Dusty Rose. So these ones are all in the shop right now. They would make a really nice ones in floral. It could actually be also a nice so basic sweater. There's plenty of things you could do with this. Yep. So go check it out. It's boutiquegarçons.com. And yeah, I think that's it for today. There was a lot of yarn shopping. I'm gonna try to do like short episode if everything goes well every 2 weeks. It's gonna be a nice way for me to introduce how my design aesthetic, how I think about designs. Because the next week I'm gonna have started the sweater with this if everything goes well. Because sometimes you have to scrap the whole idea because it doesn't work. It just happens sometimes. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, well, thank you for being there, and we'll see you next time. Bye.